guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we're going to be pulling some shards for the fusion. Now, I was very negative in my video assessment of Skorid, the Halfspawn, and I definitely think unless you're really needing a Hexa for Hydra with damage, you don't have Ruel, or you just lack some good Hex options, or you're progressing and you want a very good wave clear, there wasn't much value in having Skorid because just fundamentally there are better individual damage dealers once you remove the component of Hex damage from him. But I obviously go for more fusions because I see a responsibility and value to test and do content on these different things in case you pull him later in the future and then someone wants to know how good he is, right? Just because you don't do the fusion now doesn't mean you won't end up getting him at some point in the future. So I've decided to go for him just mainly because I don't like skipping any fusions, because I get bored, to be honest. I kind of then drift into the realms of there's not much to do in Raid. I do feel like maybe a lot of players have skipped it because that's why we had a lot of these different like sort of mid-fusion events like the Champion Training event. We also had like the Soul Chase tournament, the Sand Devil Attack tournament. We've had a Prism Shard. They've obviously loaded this week in with a lot of non-fusion events, which normally wouldn't necessarily be here beyond just a Prism. But I've decided to go for it, and I've tried to be as efficient as I possibly can be because you never know what type of event is coming up. We have ×2 Ancients here, which means that my efficiency isn't going to necessarily pay dividends because I absolutely would love a Harima, and as I got to pull shards anyway, even though ×10 kind of sucks, we might as well do it for a ×2. But I was efficient. I saved myself a Prism. I didn't quite get the Dungeon Divers one. I just didn't want to spend the extra energy trying to get it. It was a lot of effort. And I've, of course, got a lot of the epics saved up. So each epic here is going to give me more Champion Chase points, which means that we have a requirement of 3,000, but a good 1,000 to 1,250 is already going to be accounted for me being efficient. Now, the only downside is I need to pull 160 Ancient Shards because I figured I might as well go all out. And I've only got 65 storage. Well, not even that. I've got 35 storage. I have had to buy 2 more instances of Reserve Vault, and you might be saying, hey, you're a content creator, why don't you just buy it all out? These are stupidly expensive when you start getting up to these numbers. Honestly, buying 10 slots for 500 gems, it's a little bit cheap on the Reserve Vault at least, but even that is now getting up to the similar cost of 336 gems, and even silver is really expensive. If we do like an energy cost assessment, 336 sort of gems is going to be around about 8 refills, and those 8 refills will basically give me enough energy, which is about 1,000 energy. That 1,000 energy is not going to produce 9 million silver to me. It's just simply not, because at most I can do around about 32 super raids. So that's going to give me like 65 pieces of gear. On average, 65 pieces of gear might sell for like 90,000. It's going to give me about 500,000 silver. It's really just not worth the silver. The gems are the way to go, and it's just so expensive. So we're going to have to do this in a bit of chops, essentially, like blocks of summoning, unfortunately, because I just can't summon loads in one go. So it might be a bit jumpy. I'm going to have to go in. I'm going to have to clear space. I don't have any more space. I'm not even hoarding that many champions because I have been awakening my epics. I just keep all of the good champions that I might need. I do have probably more rares than I need, but that's because I've had to fill up some faction guardians for the fact that I'm using some rares. So it's a bit frustrating, but we'll have to see how it goes. Now, let's do the summon pool to get out of the way. This was a pretty good summon pool, I felt like. Rotus, Michinaki, absolutely great. Rotus has kind of lost his shine a little bit in Arena, still suffers into Ultimate Death Knight, and purely because Armand's is on the rise, Harima's strength goes up because she's strong affinity to him, and Rotus really struggles into Harima. It's just, there's a lot of meta issues that makes Rotus less desirable to run these days, but he's still an excellent champion, still really good. Michinaki, obviously one of the best Hydra champions in the game. Hefrak can catch people out on defenses still, although it's quite easy to counter if you can get rid of the Stone Skin. You almost have to always run Hefrak and Stone Skin. But the real 2 big ones here, or 3 maybe, are probably Wallmaster or Thorian, purely because of his Hydra prowess. It's so good. Armand's, we all know Armand's is busted, and then Elva. Those are the 3 that I would say are really good. Elva's still one of the best sort of single support champions in Arena, purely because she's quite annoying to take down if you build her properly. For me, I would love the Wallmaster because I don't have him, whereas I have most of the rest. I don't have a Hefrak, and I don't have a Corvus. So if I picked up one of those, it would be fine. And likewise, even the epic pool is quite good. Creodon is amazing for Cintranos and Finite Hard. Very, very useful champion. And we've also got Seeker here if you use him for clan boss. If you don't have a Seeker, we'll unlock your clan boss. And it's always nice that they tend to give us 1 or 2 free summons. I use these 9 times out of 10 for just free champion chase points, right? We've got 50 here. Sometimes you can buy a few extra to get yourself another one. You know, if you're like 5 away for $5, it's not so bad. And they are basically sacred shards in terms of odds, 6% legendary rate. They do change the number quite often, but then they always reward you with 35 as well. So it just depends on how you go. So let's start with the summon here. Let's see what we get. We do get an epic, and it's Kreodon. Kreodon is great. Kreodon, honestly, of all the epics in this pool, Kreodon and Seeker would be the ones that I would want more than anything else. And that does allow me to now go and empower one of my Kreodons. I would recommend, if you have them, that you build 2 Kreodons. I would recommend it. Having 2 Kreodons is extremely valuable for Cintranos. I wouldn't necessarily instantly ultimate if I don't have a second one. I've got a second one built, so I'm okay. So that's the first thing we can do straight out the bat. And then obviously we can make our sort of epics. Now I did get the epic summon rush because I actually wanted to keep one. I didn't want to actually lose the opportunity because it's actually quite a good epic. So I've kept one in my vault, but now we can obviously take these. And this will hopefully clear up some more of our storage whilst giving us 250 chase points. And these are important, these chase points. Right now I can only do 2. So that's giving me 500 on top of the Kreodon, which is 750. So we're already 750 points towards the 3,000 we need. Pretty good start. Now, what I will do is I will hold back these epics from being trained until I get to the champion training event in a couple of days' time. I think it's on Monday, to try and optimize that. So I'll do a lot of the champion training for the remainder of these rares and the last 2 epics to get Skorid. Now, if I wanted to, I could absolutely pull out Shayak or Quintus. I've been thinking about it. I might do it, I might not. But to be honest, because it's Harima, it's times 2 ancient, I feel like I'm probably just going to empty all these ancients. We've got 40, so I'll have to do it in batches of 40, and then I'm going to have to see what I'm going to do with all the rares that we're going to get, because I often like to use the rares for champion training purposes, but we're not going to be able to. There is a champion training ninja tournament on, so maybe we'll climb that and get some rewards on the side at the same time. So, what am I most hoping for if it's not Harima? I would still absolutely love a Kaima. I don't have one. It's one of the ones I don't have. A Kaima just for sort of a reset. It's kind of frustrating. I don't have it. I wouldn't mind also like a Glycad or a Feral. Those are really kind of like Hydra is one of the areas I would like to improve. They are about to buff Lady of Ireth, so if I pull that up, that would be great for content, but I'm not necessarily on the lookout for that more than anything else. Absolutely, like a Feral is probably my number 1 after Kaima. After Kaima, it's probably Feral. To some extent, I could make a case that I would want Feral above Kaima, just because of how impactful he is in Hydra these days. He just solves so many problems. If I could pick up a Draco or a Krokmar as well, just to go with my Teox, that would be wonderful, because I don't have that 4th lizard in most scenarios. And Alsgore is actually quite useful for some Cintrano stages, and of course the Thorian is another one there. But it's pretty much Feral. Feral's the number 1 that I don't have, that I would really absolutely value getting right now, more than any other champion that's non-void, of course. So let's go. Let's get some of these summons. Let's see what we're going to get out of this pool. We're going to get an epic straight out of the bat. Baroth the Bloodsoaked, actually useful in one Cintrano stage. So I would definitely keep a Baroth if you had one. Quagon, bit niche. Pan the Bowman, actually quite useful as well. I've seen Pan used in some Amius fights if you have a pretty strong Pan build. Obviously, you can +4 all these epics. That's what you've got to keep in mind now. When you get these epics, they're never terrible if they're a good epic to be able to +4. This is our 3rd pull. We're going to have to do this in batches of 4. Storage space, man, it's so expensive. They need to really recalculate those. Gems are way too expensive for those. Lockwine, a great epic for the Sylvan Watchers. The only problem with Lockwine is there's so many good Sylvan Watcher epics. He kind of gets overshadowed a bit. Tagoa, we've got Wirren on the Silk. We're getting lots of Sylvan Watchers. Nothing yet so far. Right, that's our first 40. I now have to clear some space, so I will be right back. Okay, we've been able to clear out actually more than 40 spaces this time, so we've got a good 70. I've been able to get rid of all those rank 2 champions and upgrade everything, so we've managed to make some more space. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get ourselves a Harima. That is a really big pick if I can pick it up for my arena teams. I just missed that, like, really good meta damage dealer. Got ourselves another Lockwine there. Well, let's see what else we get. I don't mind these epics. What you actually quickly learn with these ×2 ancients is you can get a lot of +4 epics, and they do help you in places like Cintranos. We've got 4 epics that point. Really crazy. Me being conservative with my champion chase points is absolutely silly. I didn't need to. So we're not going to be pulling anything out of the vault this time. Deacon, a great +4 epic to have. No gold as of yet, but, you know, it's still early days. 120 on average. We should get 1 legendary out of those 120. Or what it was, 160. So I should expect to get at least 1 legendary from a ×2. It's not guaranteed, but on average it should be. That's the way it works. We haven't got any epic that time. Do we get any purple this time? Oof, we're going a bit dry. Not a double rare. Ooh, 1 epic saved the day. Sepulchre Sentinel. Still pretty good, I think, in some situations. But obviously there are so many powerful champions in the game these days. We're going on a very blue run of things right now. Ugo to finish it off. Zargala and Erinus. Jane. Okay, well, we've got 60 left, so we've done 100. So we should be right on average now for a legendary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear more space, and then we're going to get the last 60 summoned. All right, we've got another 50 spaces left. We're going to have to do one little small clean off this. Let's see. Can we get a legendary in the final 61 ancient shards? Final 61. Come on. One of these must be legendary, or we've got really super bad luck. Super bad luck. Gerhard the Stone. Still quite hard. There it is. Oh, it's a Scylla the Drakes. Oh, that is bad. That is awful, but there we go. That is what you get sometimes. Raid giveth and raid taketh. That's the way we're going to do it. We're still going to summon the rest. Why the hell not? We might get lucky. Oh, one more. Oh, no. This Harima is the bane of my existence. Morley Tankard, still a great legendary for Hydra. You get this turn meter boosting all the time, a great provoke option. Can be quite useful in some Centrano stages around, I think there's one thing with turn meter control that's really good for her. I think she's in one of the really difficult stages. Not the Harima we want. We've now blown our average, so a 3rd legendary would be insane. At this point now, I can't expect anything left of the ancient shards I've got here. That really does hurt not getting any useful legendaries. I mean, there's still quite a number of legendaries I wouldn't mind duplicates of, or some that I'm missing. Morley and Scylla the Drakes are not up there in the list of things that I would really want to have on my account, unfortunately. We get a Taurus. Is there going to be anything useful left here? No, we're out of space. We've got 11 left. Let's just clear up the last space here. Did these even give me an upgrade in Faction Guardians? Barbarians are maxed, so that's not really going to help us. I mean, we already have 3. That's the 3rd Scylla the Drakes, and Dwarves are already maxed. That's my 3rd Morley. The 3rd dupe is always the worst dupe to get. It's the most useless duplicate to get. That's really uncomfortable. Yeah, what can we do about that? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Let's just make some space very quickly, and we will go back into grinding out the last 11. Okay, here we go. The last 11 then. 11 ancient shards. We did get 2 legendaries, so we can't complain about the rates. We can complain about the champions, though. Those are not great picks. 3rd dupes are never fun. Rearguard Sergeant. Do we get any more legendaries? No. One more for the pure luck of it. No Harimas are on the cards today. No, it's just another rare. Okay. Well, that's not a bad shout. I'm not upset about doing that because it's always nice to get lots of epics. And ×10, you never really can trust a ×10. Where does it put us in Champion Chase? Oh, we're very close to this Eternal Soulstone. I probably should try to maybe get that Eternal Soulstone. What are we at? 1,000, 1,100. Another 10 pull would do it. Another Temple of Ancients would do it. I will probably try to get this Eternal Soulstone. We are very close. I've had to do a lot of champion training, so we've picked ourselves up some points here. I don't know if I can really go for the Ninja Soul at 25,000. That would require a lot of commitment over the next 6 hours. I absolutely could if I wanted to. I just don't know if I can be really inspired to do so. We can pull one more Ancient Shard. You never know. Maybe this is another legendary. One more Ancient Shard for the win. No, it's a rare. It's a rare. Of course it's a rare. Of course it's a rare. I could, if I want to, just pull out a Quintus. That would give me 650 points. Or Shayak. That would give me 500 points if I really wanted to. I could also just pull a Sacred Shard here or there. Or we could just go for another 10 pull with some gems and try to get a few more epics. Because 1,000 points It's basically like a couple of epics. I don't think I've earned enough to do another fusion one here. I've only got 2 of these, so we're still quite far away from there. Oh, we do have one there, yeah. So 3. I think I've already got the artifact enhancement epic, and I don't think there is another epic available unless the classic arena until tomorrow. So I could just save one, make the epic, and finish it. So that's probably what I will do there. There you go, guys. 2 legendaries of absolute 0 value. We didn't get the Harima, but we got a lot of +4 epics. I was able to get a few more of those, which is great. And we're pretty much there nearly for the fusion now. We're just basically waiting for the last few events, get the fusion in, and then he'll probably sit in the vault for a very long time until I'm ready to do some sort of interesting concept. I might try to do some sort of tier list of the best hex damage dealers and almost break down exactly how much of his damage is going to be valuable from a direct damage front as well. Like, once I got him and I can actually play test him, I can do the actual numbers. Whilst I did my first video assessing purely based on the summary, like kind of reading his skit and kind of breaking it down that way, I'll be able to, when I get him, actually build him equal builds and see how he compares. My gut tells me Ruel is better. Could be wrong. We'll see what happens. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.